Hi, this is ChemKnits and welcome to knitting an I-cord. So when you want to knit an I-cord, you first need to cast on to double pointed needles the number of stitches that you require. And then you slide these stitches over to the other end of the needle, and rather than turning your work, you knit into the first stitch that you cast on. And so what you're doing is you are creating a really tiny circle. And so it's kind of like a mini knitting in the round, but with very few stitches and without using multiple needles. So when you finish the row, you slide down to the other side of the needle. And so instead of turning and knitting into the last stitch that you would knit, you actually knit into the first stitch on the rightmost side of your knitting. And so really you knit a row as I'm finishing up here, and then you slide across to the other end. And so you want to be able to continue wrapping it around and to kind of complete this circular cord that is the I-cord. So again, you're going to knit across your row and knitting from right to left. But without ever turning the work, you are always knitting from right to left. So you slide across, and oh, there is the I-cord, and it's showing that it's kind of circular. And you slide across to the right-hand side of the needle, and you knit another row. And sometimes it's helpful when knitting that first stitch to pull it a little tight, so that way where, I guess, that back edge is a little more invisible or a little less obvious about where you turn. But so here we are in the left hand of the needle, and there's the yarn tail, and we slide across to the other side. And again, you're knitting starting with the rightmost stitch, and so you never are turning your work when dealing with the I-cord. And I-cords can be useful for many projects. You can use them in place of a ribbon when you need a tie. In the patterns that I design, I often use them for legs or eyes of various little toys. So you knit the row and then you slide it across to the other side of the needle to continue knitting effectively in the round with a very few number of stitches. Now, if you were to do this using 3 double-pointed needles, it would be more cumbersome. So thank you for watching How to Knit an I-cord, and for more videos and free patterns, check out www.chemknits.com. Happy knitting! And look at our finished I-cord. Isn't she beautiful?